balance and found wanting. His kingdom was divided, couldn't stand. He was weighed in the balance and found wanting. His houses were built upon the sand. Mary Kay? I didn't know that bitch still existed. Uh-huh. Apparently so. Do you guys ever get the slightest hint of schadenfreude whenever somebody speeds up ahead of you to get away from you and they keep switching lanes? Oh, another dead deer. Joy. Don't get distracted. Okay. I can't help it. I can't help it. There are too many dead carcasses. Okay. Yeah, like when really impatient people are like trying to get away from the slow driver and everybody's driving slow and they're just like hopping from lane to lane trying to get away. That shit always makes me laugh. Jesus, save me, save my soul. Very moment he forgave me, made me whole. He took away my heavy burdens, Lord, he gave me peace within, peace within. Satan can't make me doubt it. I won't doubt it. It's real and I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna shout it. I was there when it happened, and so I guess I ought to know. I like the color of that car in front of us. I don't care who tells me. It's electric blue. Salvation is not free. Is that correct? All the world may argue that we cannot feel. Electric blue. Cerulean. There was this kid that I went to school with long ass time ago who would get into argument with me. He said it's not pronounced cerulean, it's pronounced cerolean. We were both 7 years old arguing over the pronunciation of a fucking crayon, alright? And I remember it to this day. I don't remember the kid's name, but I just remember this argument. And I remember that he was fucking wrong. It's cerulean, damn it. But yeah. That's kind of weird. The stuff that you remember and the stuff that you don't remember. You know? Like, I don't remember who molested me, but I definitely remember this argument. I'm kidding. I don't know if I was molested. I don't remember that happening, though. It's just that I've always been obsessed with pedophiles, like, my entire life. And I'm adopted. And I know that Catholic charities are questionable. So, that's the issue. Like, I have no idea what I could have been part of, what I could have witnessed that really, really messed me up. Because, you know, if you have a severe personality disorder, and, you know, we've been schizophrenic for fucking ever, but if you have a severe personality disorder, there's usually a reason for that. You know, you don't just develop that over nothing. And so, I have to wonder
mainly because it warrants wondering, I think. Like, it's not out of the question to be like, maybe something happened to me that I internalized and never dealt with, and it led to me developing schizophrenia. I mean, one of the main causes of schizophrenia is adrenochrome. So that means that if I didn't experience anything on a personal level, you know, like abuse, then perhaps I witnessed abuse. Perhaps I witnessed something horrific and I internalized it. So I think that if I'm supposed to know, I'll know. If I'm supposed to know, it'll be something that I figure out in time, you know? And I think that people that have gone through severe trauma, people that have been abused, should see a therapist. A good one, a really good one. The trouble is, they're so few and far between, you know? Medical professionals don't care about the public, and you know, they get nods from the pharmaceutical companies if they prescribe any kind of drug. And I'm not the type of person to say, oh well, you know, you shouldn't get prescribed by a general practitioner, you need to get prescribed by a psychiatrist. Unless the psychiatrist is working with your therapist, they suck, and y'all know how I feel about psychiatrists anyway, so I would never suggest that people get on dummy drugs, as Doug Stanhope would call them. They make you dumb. They really do, because you gotta be dumb to be taking a drug and you don't even get high. I just watched this really long video with Jordan Peterson's daughter. Now, the only reason I watched that bitch is because she's hot, okay? I don't really like Jordan Peterson because of what he said about borderline personalities. There are many reasons to not like Jordan Peterson. Just because he's, like, smart. I mean, so what, dude? Like, how can you be a psychologist that gets addicted to an SSRI? Like, I'll never understand that shit. You're in the medical profession, but you're on pills? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, this whole culture that we trust, you know? And like the fact that psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists alike don't want shit to do with borderline personalities just shows you how little they want to help the public. Because borderlines have the highest suicide rate. So the fact that like they don't want to help those people, their suggestion is to just run away from somebody with borderline personality. I mean, I understand that they're a pain in the ass. Trust me, I work with somebody like this. I love her to death, but she is very exasperating. But the thing is, I wouldn't take our friendship over anything. Like, I don't know if I said that right. I wouldn't disregard her because she has that illness, you know? And unfortunately, a lot of people in our society, they just don't care. If you're an inconvenience, they don't care about you, period, point blank. And I think it would be a lot easier if those people were told that. Just straight up. If somebody told them straight to their face, yeah, people don't care if you commit suicide, honey. That's why they want you to get on an SSRI. Because if you don't kill yourself, if you try to get off the medication, you're really going to want to. But yeah, anyway, I was watching this video with her, and she was interviewing somebody else about how dangerous that medication is. And here's the thing, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, okay? Even bad people. Like, I feel bad I feel bad for the schadenfreude that I experienced just by watching people struggle trying to switch lanes because they're too fucking impatient to just wait this shit out and realize, okay, not everybody is going to drive like I drive. Not everybody is going to drive at the speed that I think they should drive at. You know, I can't control other people. But yeah, I do get a little bit of enjoyment watching that, but I know I shouldn't. I know it's wrong, okay? But yeah, I find it interesting though, like how many people are affected by this stuff. So if it's like a major psychologist that people highly regard still withdraws from an antidepressant and people are calling him schizophrenic because of the side effects of the medication. I mean, a lot of people were saying that about Ronit when she was in the hospital. They're saying, oh, she's talking crazy. I'm like, dude, it's all the fucking pills that you have her on. And she knew that the whole time. I just felt so bad for her because she was in so much pain that it's like, oh shit, green light. And what's the solution to this? The solution is just to keep adding on more pills, you know? Like, oh, you got side effects from this pill? We'll take this pill. Oh, you got side effects from that pill? Well, we'll take this other pill, you know? It's like, why would you want to subscribe to a system that regards you like a fucking guinea pig, you know? And I can never understand that about society. That people just think that living is so hard that they're just gonna zombify themselves. You know, I had a little meltdown about that last night. Like, I was just so grateful that the drugs that I chose were drugs that I wanted to do. And so many people in our society, so many religious people, you know, my whole family, a lot of people I went to school with, you know, they were totally against what I was doing. But I'm not dead, okay? I didn't attempt suicide. I didn't do anything that was like, you know, too drastic. It's like, a lot of the crazy decisions that I was making, it's because of the fucking SSRI medication I was on. Now, I don't want to just blame that, because that sounds like such an easy, you know, cop out. Like, I don't have to be responsible for my actions because it's all my psychiatrist's fault, you know? No, it's not. I chose to see him originally. That was my decision because I wanted to see if anything helped me. But when I realized how bad it was, I stopped taking it. And I tried to be honest with him about it. Because I think that marijuana... What the fuck are you doing? Fucking do it, bitch. Do it. Okay. I almost took Lord Saving Bane. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Yeah, I'll call any man a bitch before I fucking take the Lord's name in vain. Right? Right. Anyway. Yeah, men aren't men anymore. I'm sure you've noticed that. I know I can't be the only one that noticed. They bitch about women so they don't have to bitch about men. If men came before women, then it's men's responsibility to be what men are supposed to be. And I'm not trying to suggest that women are good or anything like that, but I'm just saying that a lot of the time people bitch about groups of people so that they don't have to take any responsibility for themselves. And I see a lot of men doing that with women. Hold on a second. But, yeah, like, anyway, back to personal responsibility. You know, I was really irresponsible when I was intoxicated. But I knew that about myself, which is why I hardly ever went out and drank. So it's like, I knew how I was gonna get. And so, because I have a lot of self-awareness, I drank at home. So, you know, the thing that makes me crazier than everybody else is the thing that told me to stop taking medication. The thing that told me to do drugs that increased my empathy and my awareness, like cannabis. Unfortunately, that plant's not the same anymore, so I can't really make the suggestions that I used to make. Because I used to tell people if they had severe trauma, like, smoke some weed and you'll be able to sort that shit out. But I don't want to say that and have somebody go into some sort of psychotic episode because of some strain that they were smoking and they didn't realize how potent it was, and you know, so that's not responsible advice anymore. It used to be, though. I used to be so confident in that advice, not now. But anyway, yeah, like, it never made sense to me to do a drug where, like, you weren't receiving any kind of benefit from it, you know? And, like, I just never experienced that with any pills that I took. It just seemed kind of silly to me. And the fact that, like, so many sheep were like, you need to stay on your medication, just kind of sealed the deal for me. It was like, no, I need to find a pot dealer. That's what needs to happen. And then I did. Because it's not that hard to find a pot dealer in high school. But, yeah, man, it's just like, a lot of people are opposed to self-medicating, and I understand why. You know, they're opposed to self-medicating, they're opposed to self-diagnosing, but this is because people don't do very much research. If they actually did the research that they should do, then it wouldn't be a big deal at all. In fact, self-medicating and self-diagnosing would be a good thing. But unfortunately, people don't know how to do research. I keep saying I'm going to do a video on, I'm going to teach people how to use the internet right. And I never fucking do it. I gotta write down a list. As opposed as I am to doing that, I need to do it regardless. Because I think it would be very beneficial for people to know how to go to page 10 of Google. So, you know, it's like most people, if they want information on anything, they're just going to click on the first website that they see, you know? Rather than checking out all of the different options that they have. You know, what's going to come up in a search engine is going to be like the conventional stuff. The conventional stuff that makes bad people a lot of money. So, That's why I need to do the video. But eventually, Vortex, eventually we will do all these things.